This is one of a series of videos I'm going to make talking about all of these tools that you have available to use. The first one we're going to talk about is the rectangular marquee tool. The rectangular marquee tool is for selecting square or rectangular shapes in your photos. If you want it to be perfectly square, you should hold down the Shift key and it will select a perfect square. Otherwise, you can select rectangles. You can just freehand without holding the Shift key down. Another thing you can do, once I have made a selection, say I want to cut this corner out, I would hold down the Alt key on my keyboard. And you see that puts a little minus sign next to my cursor. That means it will subtract. So it subtracted that square out. Now if I want to add that back, I would hold down the Shift key. See, the Shift key puts a plus sign. So Alt is minus, Shift is plus. Now say I want to add something, I can just hold down the Shift, and now I've selected another area to go with that. This can come in handy if you're selecting a complicated object. The next one down is the elliptical marquee tool. This one works the same way. If I hold down the Shift key, I can select an oval shape here, and it just adds it to my selection. And now I made a tractor. Anyway, if this will select ovals, and if you want a perfect circle, you should hold down the Shift key, and it will make a perfect circle. Now once you've chosen that one time, the next time you hold the Shift, it won't make a perfect circle again. It will instead add to your selection. The Alt key again subtracts from your selection. Next down is the single row marquee tool, and this will select just one single row of pixels. If you wanted to have a black line across this photo, I could select one row and then paint in there, and it only allows you to paint in the area that has been selected. It won't let you paint anywhere else. Whoops, my picture back. It works the same way here. There is a single column, same thing. You can now paint a black line straight down, or any color you want. Okay. Now say you wanted a line that was a little thicker than a single line. Choose it, go to Select, Modify, Expand, and we can expand that by, say, 10 pixels. And now it has chosen 10 lines of pixels. And now we could make a thicker black line. And as you can see, I can get an even bigger brush. I can color anywhere over here and it will not color. It will only add color inside that selection. And that's a good handy tool. The next one down is the Lasso Tool, and this is just a freehand, freeform way of choosing an object. I use this sometimes if I just want to quickly choose something in order to move it to another photo, and I'm not too concerned about getting too much extra space because I'm going to mask that away anyway, and I want to make sure I get the whole thing quickly. That's what I use that one for. The next one is the polygonal lasso tool. This one you can be more precise. You click everywhere you want a straight line. So say I want this orange book. I click on all the corners, which that's a round space, so that's a little hard to do. And then I can be more precise about what I'm choosing. And when you do that and get stuck, you just hit escape and it will, well, it should let go. The magnetic lasso tool, this one's really nice. Click a point, and then once you have your starting point, you can let go of the mouse and just drag along what it is you're selecting, and Photoshop will try to understand what it is you're selecting based on the color. And then when you get that little circle, that shows that you are back to the beginning, and now I have chosen that book, and that's a much more accurate way of choosing that book. And again, I escape to let go. This is the quick selection tool. This one's really nice. I believe it's set to minus. Up here, we want to set it to plus. And this, you just simply start coloring. Well, it did it already. It chose the book. Just boom. It doesn't always work that well. Say I want the whole stack, so I'm going to add the blue book. And it does take a minute to calculate what it's doing. If you have more RAM than I do, this will probably work faster for you than it does for me. Now here I went out into the background a little bit. Let me zoom in right here. So I go to the minus, and that will subtract that. So this is a pretty good tool. It's not 100% accurate, but it's really good for getting the majority of what it is you want selected. Okay, let me clear that. Next is the magic wand. Magic wand chooses based on a color, and it will choose based on where you click. Up here at the top, it shows a tolerance of 4, and that decides how picky it is when it's sampling the color. So it's going to go 4 either way, so you have a spread of 8 in hues, which is pretty picky right here. Now if I change that to 10, picks a bigger space. We change it to 50. Almost got the whole book. And this one again, if you hit shift, you can add. So just add more, and it's doing it based on how picky I want it to be. Magic Wand is really good if you have like a big empty white field that you want to select. It's way more accurate on something like that. That's it for the selection tools. They work in conjunction with the select on the pull down menu. I believe Winter is going to talk about some of these pull down menus for you in another video. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.